Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you joining me today. I am out at Cambridge Square here in Ooltewah, Tennessee. They got lots of little restaurants and shops and things like that here, bars, you know, really cool place to hang out on a Friday or Saturday night, that's for sure. And what I wanted to talk about today is some of the hazards of being a motorcyclist. You know, a lot of times we have to watch out for other cars and that type of thing, and distracted drivers, but sometimes some of the blame lies with motorcyclists. So today we're going to go for a ride here on my Street Glide, and we're going to talk about 8 of the most dangerous characteristics of a motorcyclist. So stick around. Alright, as we get going here, one of the first things I wanted to bring up is distracted driving or distracted riding. As you can tell, I've got a GoPro on here on my fairing, or right here at the fairing, my GoPro, my phone, my infotainment center. So there's lots of things that can potentially distract the motorcyclist, and I think that's one of those things that we need to take into consideration, is to keep your eye on the road maybe a little more often, and be a little less distracted. And I think so that's got to be a huge number one type of thing on the list. So distracted riding, I would say, is a big one. One of the other things that I'm thinking about would have to be neglected motorcycle maintenance. You know what I mean? We've all heard the T-CLOCS acronym. I can't remember everything that it stands for, but it's something like, you know, tire pressure, electronics, oiled, all those type of things. I probably should commit that to memory. Side stand, I think, is one of them. I definitely need to commit that to memory. But that is one of those things that, you know, when you take care of your motorcycle and make sure all your maintenance is taken care of and your tires are properly inflated and that type of thing, you really reduce the risk of something happening to yourself or somebody that you're with. So motorcycle maintenance, I would definitely put that one on the list as well. One of the other things I'm thinking about is just obeying minor traffic laws. You know, things like stop signs, red lights, all those type of things that are put in place for a reason to keep people safe. And I think as a motorcyclist, that's something that we should be aware of when it comes to ourselves, and we're having a little self-examination, and that's, am I obeying some of those minor traffic laws to keep myself safe and my potential passenger and those around me? So that's something to consider as well. And then going along with that would have to be speeding. Now, I am not saying by any means that I always obey the speed limit. I mean, I bet at 57 miles per hour right now, I'm probably over the speed limit. Yeah, I sure am. It's 45. But what I'm talking about is just, well, we all know what I'm talking about. We've all seen motorcycles, you know, tear through, going at ridiculous speeds and that type of thing. And I would think, I know I sound like an old man again, but I would think that that would have to play a big role in motorcycle fatalities and motorcycle accidents. Speed has to play just a huge factor in that. So I would say that as motorcyclists, it's important for us to recognize that sometimes we have the tendency to get on it a little bit and to be aware of it. Now, at the start of this video, if you guys remember, I was over in Cambridge Square taking care of a few errands over there. Now, in Cambridge Square, of course, they've got quite a bit of bars and restaurants and that type of thing that serve alcohol. And so I would think that alcohol would probably play a factor here too. It's something as motorcyclists we need to recognize. Now, I know a lot of people that I ride with, sometimes they'll stop, you know, if they're doing a poker run or just out, you know, riding to a restaurant or whatever, we may stop and somebody might get a beer, you know, but that one beer could very easily turn into 2, 3, especially on a Friday or Saturday night when you're trying to cut loose and those type of things. Now, with me, if I'm on my motorcycle, I do not drink alcohol. Just no two ways about it, not even one. And that's just the way that I handle things for myself. I'm not saying everybody has to do it that way, but that's just typically what I do when I'm on a motorcycle. So alcohol would have to play a big factor as well. Now, on top of speeding and obeying traffic laws and that type of thing, we have all seen motorcyclists engage in reckless behavior. And what I'm talking about is we've all seen motorcycles, you know, tear down the freeway or some little side street on, you know, popping a wheelie and those type of things. And, the guy's just trying to have fun. I understand that. But sometimes that type of behavior is just absolutely reckless when it comes to endangering yourself and endangering others. And so I think that needs to be kept into consideration. You know, we've all seen motorcyclists try to do lane splitting. Maybe when lane splitting isn't legal in your area. I know I've seen that from time to time here. But basically what I see is sport bikes just going at crazy, ridiculous speeds on the highway, weaving in and out of traffic, really putting themselves in danger. And that is a dangerous personality trait for sure. So that's something else I would add to the list. And one other thing I would have to add to the list would be a lack of accountability. And by that I mean, look, if you are riding in a formation with a group, maybe your hog group or, you know, a riding club that you ride with or something like that, and they tell you you've done something wrong and you need to change the way you ride, or you need to change this, that, and the other, you know, take that constructive criticism from somebody else, as somebody who's maybe just trying to help you, and be accountable for that. Be accountable for your behavior when you're with a group or with friends. Be accountable for how you ride when you're with others, and taking into consideration your safety and others. So self-reflection is a good thing, and accountability can be as well. And then last on the list would have to be safety gear. Now, I know this is very subjective. One person says a particular device or a particular helmet is enough, and others say no, it's got to be all the gear all the time. So I think every person needs to make that determination for themselves. But safety gear, or a lack of safety gear, is one of those things where you are definitely setting yourself up for the potential of getting hurt a little more than if you didn't have it. I know with me, I'm always in try to be in a pair of gloves and that type of thing, full face gear, and so try to always keep that in mind. So safety gear would have to be high on the list. Well, welcome to my neighborhood, guys. I don't know if I've ever put this on video, but welcome to my neighborhood. So I'm finished with my errands, gonna head back to the house. I know I've had a lot of Debbie Downer type of things to say in this one, but right now, if it's okay with you, I would just like to end on a high note. All right, with that being said, if you would, please like this video. I would very much appreciate that. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. That would just be awesome. I hope you guys have an excellent day, and we'll talk to you again soon.